what I got. It's the Evil Pinely 100K plaque. Thank you guys so much. As we all know, we're knee-deep into Evil Pinely Summer, the scariest time of the year. Today's Evil Pinely Summer topic has a lot to do with the world of beauty. Because in the summer, we sometimes go to beauty pageants? Yeah, this is connected to summer. This is connected to the theme of Evil Pinely Summer. I guess we can kick this off by reading this nice little article over here. Our story takes place in Pennsylvania. 2024 Miss Pennsylvania, an award winner's crowned. This article is from about a month ago. In the summer. Is June in the summer? That's up to you. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. A brand new title holder for Miss Pennsylvania was crowned yesterday. Paige Weinstein, 26, of Pittsburgh, is a flight attendant training for her private pilot's license. She was crowned Miss Pennsylvania for 2024. Previously, Miss Greater Pittsburgh. Now, the read more article over here, there's a stark contrast vibe-wise, right? The last paragraph seemed a bit wholesome, you know, talking about this woman who's been training to be a pilot, and she's not the subject of this video. As far as I know, Paige has done nothing wrong, but I don't know her. Maybe she has. I will kill you. Miss Pennsylvania contestant drops out after getting death threats. We'll go back to that. This gives a bit more info about the person who won. She advocated for a community service initiative promoting the ability and disability. This is all interesting stuff if you're really interested in beauty contests in Pennsylvania. But for the sake of this video, I want to focus on this list over here. Runner-ups include: first runner-up, Abby Traxler, Miss Central Pennsylvania. Okay. Second runner-up, and let's focus on this person, Victoria Vespico, Miss Wilkes-Barre / Scranton. Scranton, where the office is. But where the office is. Is it obvious that I don't know much about Pennsylvania besides the show The Office? So the beauty queen of where the office is set, Victoria Vespico, was the second runner-up in this competition. And it was really important for her to become Miss Pennsylvania. Important to a criminal level, perhaps? Here's a little bit of information about Miss Wilkes-Barre Scranton. She earned that title back in October at the annual Miss Northeastern. Wow, I really don't. This is like a whole world I need to learn more about. These things get so regional, it's crazy. Vespico, a 2021 Penn State grad with a degree in corporate communication, competed alongside 10 delegates. Apparently, she performed the song Born This Way by Lady Gaga, and she advocated for a bunch of positive things. Growing up, we talked about the Girl Scout promise and law. She said, "We talked about using our resources wisely and making the world a better place. As a Penn State student, I had the chance to learn more about the United Nations and the Sustainable Development Goals. This education, paired with my experience as a Girl Scout, made sustainable advocacy a no-brainer." So yeah, seems like a very law-abiding citizen. Does it seem like I'm trying to set something up? Since graduating from Penn State, she's published 2 children's books, Cows Are More Than Milk and Bring a Bucket. Wow, she published 2 children's books. Now that's pretty cool. Now let's go back to that article I didn't click on earlier. Let's click on it. Why not? It's Evil Pinely Summer, baby. It, I can click on an article all day. I will kill you. Miss Pennsylvania contestant drops out after getting death threats. Former Miss, how do I say this? Susquehanna Valley. Former Miss Susquehanna Valley, Robin Cascargi, announced she was hanging up the crown out of fears for her safety, throwing away what would have been her last chance to earn scholarship money and the coveted Miss Pennsylvania crown. This is an announcement she made on social media just a few days before the pageant was set to start. So she's gone on to say that she's been the subject of like death threats, bullying, a bunch of stuff like that. Fucking terrifying shit. Especially in relation to something that should be, you know, quite wholesome, like those beauty contests. Like, you know, a bunch of people going on a stage talking about sustainability and singing songs. Should be a wholesome time. She said that those threats came from a fellow Miss Pennsylvania contestant. That contestant being the writer of all those children books from earlier, Victoria Vespico. I'm gonna say, according to this article, and allegedly every now and again, just so I can be okay with this legally. I guess I'll give a content warning for like, I don't know, there's gonna be like serious death threats here. Genuinely like incredibly vile stuff. Reading this is just, yeah, I don't know, sickening. Chaos Gurgi shared some of the text with CBS 21 News. Hundreds sent from a phone number that was connected with a fellow contestant. That person has not been charged with a crime, and that's why we're not releasing their name. This has changed. Victoria's name is now public. I'll give you an update about what's going on with her later on in the video. This file was saved as Evil Texts 3, which is very appropriate. I swear, if you leave DC, I will ruin your life. I will come to DC and set your house on fire and watch, and I'm assuming she's trying to say watch you scream as your stupid dogs die. It'll be so funny. Maybe I'll even take care of that awful boyfriend of yours. It's not like either of you will be missed. So yeah, I mean, just actual death threats, just an actual threat on her life coming from a literal Girl Scout, an actual Girl Scout. I can't wait to see the life leave your eyes as I crush your whole world. And then, I mean, the rest of this, you can read that if you want. Just, Jesus Christ. Jesus f***ing Christ. Because Gurgi, the victim, the person who received all those messages, also claims the same person also threatened her in person. It happened at the Miss Pennsylvania orientation, actually. It was a very quick incident. I was going into the bathroom, and she came out of nowhere and whispered, "I will get rid of you. I will punch you." And she just kept walking, and I just kind of stood there. Because Gurgi has been performing in pageants for years, competing for the crown, and she says it was to avoid behavior like this. "I was getting bullied really badly in high school. My mom said to put me back in the pageants to help with my self-confidence." Just really horrible stuff, you know? Trying to help with your self-confidence, and then you're just running into like a literal devil, essentially. The two women eventually went to court because Gurgi was granted an anti-stalking order in a Washington, D.C. court. It states, "The respondent shall stay at least 100 yards away from petitioner's home." Yeah, so essentially, like, I think a restraining order kind of thing. Obviously, like, she's clearly very unhinged as well, like, leaving a very obvious trail of evidence. Like, she just has texts from her number with actual threats. You gotta understand that has some legal weight to it, you know? She said leading up to the pageant, she didn't receive any specific plans from the Miss Pennsylvania Scholarship Foundation about how the security would be handled during the pageant and the events that were scheduled to take place leading up to it, which is why she made the announcement to relinquish her Miss Susquehanna Valley crown. "I didn't want to, but ultimately it was the best decision for the safety of myself and my loved ones." Just horrible. So yeah, since then, this is from a more recent article, things have escalated for the perpetrator, Miss Scranton and the other place, Wilkes-Barre. Miss Pennsylvania runner-up Victoria Vespico called rival piggy bitch. Jesus f***ing Christ. And all the stuff we read earlier before landing a job mentoring America's kids. Jesus. When issuing the anti-stalking order, the judge said that he found Vespico has committed 15 acts of terror, threats, and stalking. Despite this, Vespico has managed to land herself a role as a program partner coordinator at Girl Scouts, which is something that she recently said on her LinkedIn account. Yeah, you can look up and read more of the text if you want. It's just really horrifying stuff. She gets really explicit with the threats and all that. And yeah, just horrible. Seems like a big failure on the whole like Miss America organization that the person who received the threats had to leave instead of the person who was saying all these things. Reading about this story, every more tidbit of information that I see about the Miss America organization seems to be really weird and fishy, and I don't like it. So it says here that Gurgi is looking to press criminal charges against Vespico after her Washington, D.C. apartment and her car were broken into on the eve of the state title competition held in York, Pennsylvania. I mean, I'd be really surprised if Miss Scranton was involved in that one. Robin Gurgi says that they knew that this was going on since fucking March. She shared information with them about it, and asked if she could have some sort of reassurance that she'd be somewhat protected from her. But the board ended up telling her that it's up to the two girls to abide by the conditions set down in the ASO, the sort of anti-stalking thing. So this was, she received the anti-stalking order, and the people in the competition did nothing. They just kept it going. When she shared her fears of the nature of the abuse with two local Pennsylvania directors at first, They flat out refused to believe that Vespico sent the messages and told Kaskurgi the best thing to do was to not talk about it and not share it. In a recorded conversation, local director Charles Casco can be heard telling Kaskurgi, "You get a message you don't like, don't share it, don't talk about it, block the number, it's that simple, and move on." Fellow director Don Cinti added, "It's not Victoria, I can tell you that." That's good, that's reassuring. So yeah, shady ass organization. God knows what else they're hiding. This is fucking horrible. Like terrifying stuff. In some of the texts that Vespico sent that was presented as evidence to the court, she wrote, "It's not like I will get caught. I mean, look, you couldn't get anyone to believe you. You're sending fucking text messages under your fucking number. Are you stupid?" Alright guys, that was the video. Please subscribe. At 200K, I'm gonna make a video about air. I'm out of here, man.